Disco X on the line, just as I suspected. No one really gets over me. I'm unaffected. Why would you try to ever put me second? You're just another groupie to me. No, I'm out here single, and I need some real. Now I got standards, give a fuck how you feel. I'm out here single, tell me what's the deal. Now I got standards, give a fuck how you feel.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Betting News Network. Happy Saturday morning. Hope you guys got something nice poured up in your cup to kick off your Saturday. The weekend is here. Vibes are high. Welcome to your Betspresso in the AM. That is Mr. Shaggy Betts. I love when Shaggy joins us on Saturday. That's Vsauce. That's Danny Burke. My name's Sweatpants. Jesus, stoked to have you guys here, ready to rock and roll into a massive Saturday. We've got a huge day of college basketball. We've got a few games in the NBA, but all of that pales in comparison, boys, because we've got playoff football. 2 games in Super Wildcard weekend in the NFL as the Rams travel to Carolina to take on the Carolina Panthers. And these two lads get to go head to head as the Green Bay Packers travel to Chicago to take on the Chicago Bears in what should be a fantastic kickoff to Wildcard Weekend. What's going on, chat? Welcome to the show. Excited to have you here. Brought to you by our sponsors at Lucky Rebel. You guys get involved with everything we're going to talk about today in the sports betting realm with our friends at Lucky Rebel. Get involved with that QR code above Mr. Shaggy Betts' head. If you want to bet more unders like that beanie on his head, you can go check it out with that QR code right there as well. All right, I've gabbed enough. These two gentlemen down here don't get to talk for a second because they're going to bitch at each other surely for the next hour. Shags, how are you doing?
Yeah, those two are going to have plenty of time to talk, man. Hey, Ron, shout out to you. Thanks for the NLL winner last night, the Saskatchewan Rush, getting the job done. Boys, happy Saturday. I'm happy to be here. We got a loaded college hoop slate. 149 college basketball games today. A lot to sift through, but hopefully we've found some winners.
Before we do anything else, Shaggy, are you even going to watch football today with 140 college games on?
It's going to be on the secondary screen. All right, I'm a blessed individual. I got a nice little home theater situation going, so I'm going to have options. But yeah, football will be on. Probably going to be on the secondary screen.
Because Sook's not here, I'll just put him on blast a little bit. Danny, Shaggy, you guys weren't here for this. Was it yesterday? But Sook said he's not a multi-screen kind of guy. Like, he doesn't understand people who have the small laptop screen or the second TV screen. He's like, how do you
or the
focus?
Third TV screen or the fourth TV screen?
That's what I'm saying, Shaggy. Maybe the
Is there are never enough screens for me. I mean, it's also I'm staring literally at 3 screens right now. And like I think that's like fine for sports consumption. I asked him when he said this yesterday, guys, that what does he do when you go to the bar? Like, does he just watch one TV and just focus on that TV? And he's
same
like,
thing
yes,
at like
he
a
does.
sports book, you know, like
He walks into the bar like this, you know what I mean? Like ISO. You know what I mean?
Windy
ISO.
fingers. Just make that, you know.
Tunnel vision. Focus.
So Danny, are you a multi-screen guy? Or are you
big time multi-screen. The more screens, the merrier. I guess Sook is just a businessman. He respects the commercials and the advertisements and is very into the financial aspect of everything. So, no, from as early as college as I could afford multiple TVs or scavenge somebody else's, and we could afford Red Zone, I guess. We were putting as many TVs up as possible. I think the most we ever got was like 4 in my first apartment or whatever. But, yeah, I certainly try to get as many as I can. I do want to say a couple things, if I may, before we get on. First of all, happy to be here with you, gentlemen, because I don't come on to the Saturday shows often. Secondly, especially happy to be on with Shags, because Shags and I haven't done a show in forever. And third, if anybody watches me on this program pretty consistently, I'm throwing, and this isn't a diss by any stretch of the imagination. I'm usually throwing on a sweatshirt, got a hat. I knew V and I were going to be on the show together, of course, and V's always looking dapper. So me being somewhat, I threw on a little coat, and here V is on our most important game day, and he's wearing a sweatshirt. One of us came a little bit prepared, at least. So take that as you will when you're handicapping the Packers and Bears.
1 point to the Bears. 1 point to the Bears. Fan base looks nicer.
I really hope that the Packers slept more than I did yesterday, because Is
that the same outfit V has on now?
Yeah. Pretty much. Almost exactly the same. He only slept a couple hours last night. V's in shambles already.
I actually have now.
Started.
All right.
Don't worry, V. I got you. It'll come back.
Fine.
Don't worry.
We'll be fine.
Get there.
I mean, it's going to be a hell of a game tonight, man. We're going to get to it. We're going to talk about these two lads going head to head tonight. Danny, glad to have you here on a Saturday, brother.
Oh, yeah.
V's like, I can't.
That's it. I'm out.
He's going to
go.
He's 5 minutes.
He's coming back with a suit and tie on. You know that, right?
No, he's coming back with a jersey on. I know exactly what he's about to go do. I don't know if he wants to jersey curse himself, though. But chat, we're excited to have you here. If you're watching us on YouTube, thanks for being here back on the Boob too. If you're watching us on Twitch or Twitter, thanks for sticking around for the next hour right here on the Betting News Network to kick off the vibes with your Betspresso. Give us a subscribe and a follow if you haven't already on one of those platforms. We're trying to grow all of those individual platforms. Grown a lot over the last. We're over 3,100 followers on Twitch, boys, which is awesome.
Cool.
And back on the YouTube, which we really appreciate as well. My mom especially appreciates that. She was very mad when we were off YouTube for a week. She was like, "How am I supposed to watch you and yell at you and text you with my terrible things on the side?"
Twitch.
Like,
It's just another app. I
was like, "Mom, you got to go to Twitch." She was like, "No, I'm not doing that."
Yeah. Okay. Too much work.
There we go. All right, lads. Well, let's save the football chatter until V comes back. Let's talk a little bit about what we saw last night. Obviously, it was an interesting night in the NBA. We don't have to spend too much time talking about that. But Shags, as one of our CFB, analysts, awesome peoples on the network. I'm not gonna lie to you, dude. I turned the game off at halftime. I only watched. I mean, and I think probably a lot of people did, because we've seen this story before, and Indiana just absolutely railroaded the Ducks. It started off first play of the game, bang, pick six, and it was like the story of the whole game in one play, pretty much. I know you guys talked about it on Up Your Unit yesterday. Was it what you expected? And are you thinking that Indiana is Miami now? I saw someone do a tweet of Miami. Someone saying this is Miami, and it was the Simpsons kid sitting in the bus going, "I'm terrified."
Yeah. I mean, I would be terrified if I were the Miami Hurricanes too. I mean, yeah, you're going to be at home in your own stadium playing this game, but this Indiana Hoosiers team is different, man. I mean, they showed it last night. I know a lot of people, I mean, looking at that spread, it was moving down the whole week, or the whole couple of weeks that it was open. Indiana was 4.5. They were down to 4. They were down to 3.5. It seemed like everyone was betting Oregon, or all the sharps at least were betting Oregon down. And then we saw what happened on the field, man. Kurt Cignetti did not care at all. Fernando Mendoza, lit up the Oregon secondary, and the Hoosiers went on to win. So I think the Hoosiers defense is really the kicker. I mean, obviously they're all phenomenal. Fernando Mendoza, Heisman winner, but that defense holding, an Oregon team to just 15 points. I guess they scored 22. They got a garbage one right at the end, but I mean, they're rock freaking solid. They're going to be tough to beat. They're a touchdown favorite for a reason in my eyes. So I think Indiana just cruises to a victory in the national.
I'm surprised that it's only 7.5. I'm looking at the live line right now. Obviously, the national championship game on the 19th. So in a week here, 7.5 point faves are the Indiana Hoosiers against the Hurricanes as 7.5 point dogs. 48.5 point total is the live line as we sit right now, which will surely dance around between now and next weekend. I don't know. Do you have any early thoughts or any early leans on either one of those lines as we look at it right now?
It's the Hoosiers. If I were a smart man, I would have done what Colby and I were talking about doing all week long, and that was take the Hoosiers to win the Natty at plus 130, plus 135 at Lucky Rebel before the semifinal. And then we would be sitting with the Hoosiers plus 135 money line in our back pocket. Instead, they're 7.5 point favorites. I'd probably be willing to still lay it with the Hoosiers. I just think this is going to be a beatdown. I mean, and we, as a society, we overuse terms. All right, I think we can all agree that one of those terms actually that's getting overused recently is belt to ass. So
BTA?
Miami like to say that they went belt to ass on Ole Miss on Thursday night, and then Indiana actually showed you what that term meant. Miami had to win the game on the final drive just to squeak by Ole Miss, where Indiana was just in control all game long. So we need to get rid of that term, a bit overused, but I mean, Indiana, I think they're going to do the same thing to Miami. When is it? Next Monday, the 19th. I think they're just going to roll.
So Shags, watching that game, and obviously many people had similar thoughts. Jeff in the comments is saying the same thing, and you watch that team and you can't help but think about that 2019 LSU squad, and people were talking about that offense and team as a whole potentially being one of the best that we've seen of all time. And one of my buddies is obviously he went to IU, so he's a diehard fan, but like many IU fans around my age, at least, none of them really went to a game in college, and now they're all, the biggest diehard fans, which drives me crazy as a Nebraska fan, just hating every single quarter of football I watch. But nevertheless, so we were talking about it. He's like, what, are they the best team in history? I was like, I still think that 2019 Joe Burrow-led team gets the nod. And I'm curious your thoughts what the spread would be, because you have to remember, obviously, it's Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase, Justin Jefferson. We don't know what these characters of IU are going to turn out to be. Now, that may be irrelevant in terms of what they were at their peak in college. But I would think that LSU, and this is just completely shooting it off the top of my head, would be at least a 3.5 point favorite. LSU, if in a hypothetical line. I can't help but think about IU being a play away from losing to Ethan Grunkmeyer and Penn State in that miracle victory. They almost lost to Iowa. And I understand that they beat the brakes off of Bama. They just did it to Oregon. This is obviously not the best version of Bama that we've seen. And Oregon has been a bit flawed offensively. But I still think LSU is the better team. And that's not me being a hater to any IU fans out there. I just think that LSU's offense was unbelievable. But what say you?
Yeah, no, I love these hypotheticals. Colby and I were talking a few of college hoops teams yesterday, but I've seen this hypothetical before, 2019 LSU versus 2025 Indiana. I would say the Tigers are probably 3.5, maybe 4.5 point favorites, and I would be hammering them up to a touchdown. I think that LSU team was just different, and we obviously see that with all the guys playing on Sundays. Now, we haven't gotten to see these Hoosiers guys. Maybe there are going to be a lot of guys playing on Sundays too, but Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase, Justin Jefferson, all on the same squad. Come on now. That's an LSU butt kicking in my eyes.
Didn't that defense also have a bunch of Derek Stingley Jr. played for that team, right?
I believe Patrick so. Queen he was on that team.
Also played for that team.
That sounds familiar as well. I'd have to look at the roster.
Shirt, no big deal. I am locked in now.
You look like a.
I didn't want to address it.
I was waiting for Shag. I don't want to steal his thunder, but
you had to put the green on though. Respect, man. Respect.
Lock in.
Respect. So since we're down this road, I just want to ask you gentlemen this, and we don't have time to go super and deep into this conversation, but with the whole transfer portal stuff now in college football, I know Shags, you did a really good piece on it at Betting News. If you guys want to go peep his kind of thoughts about the portal as a whole and a lot of portal changes that we've seen in college football in the realm that exists now. But what do you guys think of the people saying that this Indiana team, the what they're achieving right now, is a little bit not fraudulent is the wrong word. It doesn't mean the same thing because all of these players are their average age of this team is 23/24 years old. I think their punter is 27. And in comparison to in years past, I think that Joe Burrow LSU team, for example, I would imagine the average age of that squad was 22, 21.
2021.
So it's a different time. So you have to go with the times. And I understand that. But a lot of these guys are 5th, 6th year players. Carson Beck, obviously, on the other side of Miami is another example of that guy's basically 1 foot into selling insurance. But what's your thoughts on what it means right now in college football? Does it change your opinion of the team? Does it change your opinion of what they've accomplished because they're basically an NFL squad now? They just still have eligibility in college?
Not really. And I kind of think using Indiana as an example is a bad example just because a lot of those guys followed Cignetti from JMU. It's basically James Madison from 2022, on this Indiana roster. So I don't necessarily have a problem with that. And you kind of alluded to it too. It's just the nature of the beast nowadays. It's just what college sports has turned into. We have guys staying as long as they can, milking it out, and I get it. I would probably do the same thing if I could. But it doesn't change my opinion that much. It's just, again, you got to adapt. This is college sports now. This is where we're at.
Every time there's winners somewhere, there's going to be people trying to discount those winners. That's what it is.
Well, it's just college sports as a whole has now turned in. Basketball's a little different, but college football especially has now turned into AAA of the NFL at this point in comparison. Like, it is just the direct lead into how can you get your blue chip players, and it's by staying in college. Like you said, I think it's a good example with Indiana, but across the whole, I mean, the SEC is an example of that. I mean, and Nick Saban kind of started that train with getting guys in there and just trying to do it any way possible. And now look, the SEC isn't represented in the national championship game. So
do you think Dante Moore still goes second to the Jets, or do you think maybe the Jets are reevaluating that pick now?
I wonder if Dante Moore returns to Oregon, because that's also been talked about too, is him returning. And after that showing, definitely didn't help his draft stock. So I would say returning to Oregon, or hitting the transfer portal is certainly in play, rather than him going number 2. But we'll see. I'm not a mock draft guy. I just let that happen.
And then if you're Dante Moore, if you could avoid going to the New York Jets and still make a decent amount of money, that seems like a not so bad option to me.
If he looked like he was playing on the Jets last night, that's a good comment from Red Dad.
A little bit. It's rough.
He'll fit right in over there.
Yeah, he's already in the green, basically. Any other thoughts from last night, gents, across the entire sports realm? Obviously, the college football game was, again, I turned it off at halftime. So I was like, I'm going to turn this off. Maybe it'll get interesting and I'll go back to it. And it never did. So anything else anybody want to talk about from some CBB or some NBA or anything fun last night? Or shall we just jump straight into what we got going on today?
I'll just die on the hill that Miami didn't deserve to be in the field of 12, but that's my opinion.
Yeah.
Even though they've gotten here?
Absolutely. They only were in the college football playoff because Duke beat Virginia in the ACC championship. If Virginia beats Duke in the ACC championship, Virginia gets in, James Madison gets knocked out, and Notre Dame fills that final spot.
You can't. I'm sure a lot of Hurricane fans would want to Michael Irving you right now, but
you're more upset about them getting in, but not like Bama getting in over Notre Dame, because that's where I would think is absurd. And I get why Notre Dame was left out. I'm not like it didn't ruin anything for me, and Notre Dame dug their own grave with not being in a conference. But I think that was the thing that annoyed me the most, is getting robbed of seeing Jeremiah Love and the best quarterback Notre Dame's had in however many years.
No doubt about it. And I don't have a problem with Bama getting in, because in my mind, and maybe this is an unpopular opinion, but the games have to matter. Alabama made the SEC championship. They have to be the second team from the SEC into the college football playoff. You can't have Alabama play this extra game, earn the right to play this extra game, even if they get blown out by Georgia, which is what happened. In my mind, you couldn't jump an Ole Miss and an A&M over them while leaving Bama out, because then again, why would teams be motivated to play in the conference championship? They would opt out. They would start opting out of the conference championship.
Right.
You know what I mean?
That is the whole interesting debate then too, is should you get rewarded or punished for these games? And we still don't have a definite answer for that. That's where it's always such a gray area.
My opinion, you can feel free to disagree. The conference championships, that extra data point, it can only help your stock. It cannot be used against you. That's how I feel. That's how I think it should go. But I'm just one man.
College sports, man. College fucking. We need a little bit of that in the AFC or in the NFC South this year. We need to flex the fucking Saints to the top of that conference.
I think that the NFL might start rethinking what they're going to do with that based upon what they've seen with a couple of conferences or divisions over the last few years. I don't know if it's going to happen this offseason, but I think it might be coming maybe when the expansion happens in the NFL, that we might get a rework on that.
I disagree. I think that there needs to be motivation to win the division, and there's no more motivation than a home playoff game.
It could change the motivation, though. They could just adjust it to where it's something. I don't know. We don't have time to talk about this. Let's talk about football. We could argue a bunch of different semantics of all different sports that we love at this point for the next hour, and chat would probably be here. But there is sure there is sports to bet on today, and you just kind of alluded to it. The NFC South and the representative from the NFC South, the winner of the NFC South, even though they didn't win their last football game of the season, is taking on the Los Angeles Rams. Let's jump into football. Rams, Panthers, first game of the wild card weekend kicks off this afternoon at 3:30 Central, 4:30 Eastern in Carolina. It is a 10.5 point spread pretty much across the market still. It's been pretty much 10.5 most of the week. A little bit leaning towards the Panthers side of things if you want to maybe take the Panthers and the points. However, this is a rematch from earlier this season, and the Panthers won outright. Plus 430 on the money line if you're feeling frisky across the market there too. 45.5 pretty much still the total as we're looking at it right now. I already know what V and Danny's thoughts are in this game, and I'm sure they have others. But Shags, what is your take on this game specifically right now? Do you have a direction that you lean? Do you have any bets in this game that you like?
So I kept flip-flopping between the over and the under. I couldn't get a feel for the total. And my initial thought is 10.5 points for a playoff team at home is a lot. But then I look at that team and I say, oh, wait, it's the Carolina Panthers. Look at the other side and I say, oh, that's the Los Angeles Rams. Remember when I was talking about that term that's overused? I'm using that term here. I think the Rams just nothing more to say, to be quite honest with you. But Jay Dizzle, you hopped in at the great time. I'm sorry, man. Carolina does have a fantastic game plan. I believe it was Jay Dizzle. You're going to have to correct me, but I believe it was their coach, maybe a coordinator, someone along the lines of, if we don't know what we're doing, they don't know what they're doing. And, maybe that plays into the Panthers' favor this game. Maybe they can just somehow fool the Rams again. But come on, they already beat this team once. I don't think it's happening again.
Danny, we talked about it a lot on Any Given Wager. Do you still have the same sentiment that you had over the last week about this game specifically? Or do you got any new? Did you wake up this morning, bright and early, wipe the crusties, pour a cup of coffee and go, you know what? No, I changed my opinion.
No, everything's been pretty similar, and I'll pretty much just reiterate what I mentioned the other day. And I know Garrett's already chirping at me in the chat. Love to see it. He's right. Massive day for both of us. We could both be extremely happy or just devastated. But realistically, I have a better chance of being happy than Garrett does because it is going to be BTA here. I mean, you look at that first matchup where the Panthers, luckily, fortunately, somehow won over the Rams. And Shaggy, this is what I was saying is that it was crazy that the Panthers in that game went 3 of 3 on their fourth down attempts. They went 7 of 15 on their third down attempts. And then you also factor in that the Rams had 3 turnovers in that game. But the Rams still, in terms of yards per play, outgained them 7.4 to 5.8. So, I mean, clearly we see these games all the time. And in any situation, we would expect to bounce back from the Rams. But especially when they have to lock in, they have a much better defense. Their running backs are playing insanely well. And you're getting the return of Devontae Adams, a huge red zone threat, as V and I always joke about, the top red zone threat for this Rams team. You're right, though. Look, Canales is a fine coach, but you just don't have a good quarterback, and you have an even more just underwhelming defense. What I'm hoping happens is that Carolina maybe keeps it close in the first quarter, or heck, maybe they get up 7-0, 3-0, to where I can get Los Angeles under 10, and then I'll probably look to attack them from an in-game spot. Outside of that, your bet that you made, SPJ, I think is a really good angle, and if it hadn't moved a bit more since when you bet it, I'd probably join you. But I like that prop the most out of everything in this game.
Yeah, dude, it's climbed. And I'll give you guys the line that I bet earlier this week. I still like it at the current line, but it is and this is true, and we'll say this the rest of the playoffs. And watch our shows earlier in the week. Check out our articles earlier in the week as well, because a lot of these lines, especially in the prop market, are going to move. And Adam made a really good point on Any Given Wager. If you like a play of a prop when the lines drop originally, take it then. Or if you want to kind of lean towards taking the under on something, wait until like the day before kickoff, because that line is going to jump 5, 6, 7, 8 yards. And then you can maybe middle it somehow if you want to in that regard too. Because I took Kyren Williams. I took it earlier this week at 64.5. It's up to 69.5, 70.5 in some places now. I thought this line was kind of crazy when it dropped anyway at 64.5. So I'm not surprised by the move. I know a lot of people are kind of leaning a little bit more towards the Corum angle because he had a really good game against them when they lost to the Panthers earlier. And I think both of these guys can get it done on the ground. But the Panthers are not very good at stopping the run. Chad is also saying that it's a gross day in Carolina, which makes sense because it's kind of a nasty day out here in Nashville. Rainy, not really good weather for slinging the pill everywhere. I think the Rams are going to want to go in here on the road and just control the tempo in the line of scrimmage, in the trenches, and just, as you said, BTA this team here, there, and everywhere. And I don't think that's going to – if you look up at the stat line at this game, at the end of the game, and Matthew Stafford has 300-plus passing yards, the Rams did not do what they came out to do today. I think they want to run the football with Kyren Williams, control the tempo, control the clock, and I think the 64.5 is just too low. Again, Corum could probably get over his line as well, but I really like Kyren. I leaned into that angle earlier this week, and I do like it at the current line, 69.5, 70.5, whatever you're looking at, depending on where you're shopping. Before V talks about this game, because I know he has a couple plays as well that he wants to mention. The dogs love it too. Is this right here. Boys, this is incredible. And if we don't know what we're doing, then they don't know what we're doing. This is like on a t-shirt. If the Panthers win this football game today, they have to make this a t-shirt, and all Carolina Panthers fans need to go and buy this t-shirt immediately. Because this is an incredible quote. So I just wanted to acknowledge that right
I heard somebody quote that yesterday when they were live here. I thought that was absolutely hilarious. And honestly, like, I'm here for it. I think that this Panthers team, I think the weather's going to, like, if they are going to keep it close, if they're going to have a chance in this game, it was a rainy, ugly game last time they won outright. It's going to be one of those games, and you got to control the game on the ground. And that's exactly why SPJ, like you just mentioned him, it's going to take another second and talk about him. I got the worst line, but I'll still take it. 68.5 is still floating around if you want to grab that. But Kyren Williams has been fantastic over the last 5 weeks. He's averaging over 70 yards per game in his last 5 games. He's hit this line in 4 of those 5 games, averaging 5.4 yards per carry and seeing 15.2 rush attempts per game. I love the Corum angle if that's the way you want to go. But my thinking is this is a postseason game. This is a playoff game. I understand Corum's been great during the regular season, but he's also had some fumbles in the red zone. He's also had some moments where it's kind of like, what are you doing out there? You can see the youth in this guy, and Kyren is your running back. He's your RB1. He's gotten you here. He's also played 3 playoff games for you now. Last year, he hit this line in both of their playoff games, both the round 1 game where he had 16 carries, and then in the loss to Philly where he had 19 carries. I think this is a game where you're going on the road in an ugly environment, in a stadium that's probably going to be very fucking loud. I think you have to control the tempo of this game. I think the best way to do that is with your running back against a defense that is bottom 10 in most rush categories. So, yeah, give me Kyren Williams over 67.5. I think he's going to see a bulk of the carries, especially late in the game. If they are playing with the lead and you can't afford a fumble or you need to go with the guy that you trust more, my confidence is McVay is going to feed Kyren today.
V and I on the same prop. What could go wrong?
No, absolutely nothing, right?
Okay. Anything else on this game before we kind of turn the page and talk about the game that everybody really wants to talk about, especially these 2 lads on the right side of the screen? And you didn't take Devontae Adams' touchdown? I'm surprised.
I didn't. I took this. This is my new guy right here, Kobe Parkinson. Anytime touchdown plus 260. Now, maybe I'm chasing the number here, but this is a situation where even Tyler Higbee back. This guy is their biggest tight end. He is 6'7", 260 pounds. He is a guy that able to break tackles, and he had a career year with the Rams this season. He was he had 8 touchdowns, which is almost double the number he had before with the Seahawks. It's just his second year with Los Angeles. And I do think that this is a situation where you got to utilize him. J.C. Horn and Mike Jackson have been fantastic for the Carolina Panthers, and it's led to a lot of funneling to receivers from the inline position and the slot position. That's exactly where Parkinson's been doing a lot of his damage, especially in the red zone. He's second in red zone target share, and he didn't really even, he wasn't on Stafford's map till about the second half of the year. So this is a situation where I just think you don't take him out of the offense. He's scored in 4 of his last 5 games. I love everything about this prop. And we know that Carolina is a bottom 10 team against tight ends. So I took Parkinson.
Oh, now Higbee's scoring.
Yeah, I'm taking Higbee now for sure.
100%.
All that work for nothing.
Yeah. The last thing I'll say on this, and we talked about this a bit on Any Given Wager, but all I can hope is that we just don't get a repeat of what we saw last week in the first NFC wildcard game. The AFC wildcard game opened up last week against the Texans taking on the Chargers, and the Texans beat the Chargers 32-12. It was a relatively uninspiring football game. Justin Herbert looked really bad. Obviously, the Texans picked him off 4 times. Hopefully, we don't get the same kickoff to the playoffs this week, but we shall see.
Second highest total on the board surprised me a little bit.
I think the Rams might run up the score if it gets to that point and get moving and grooving to get some because at this point too, this is like your tempo setter for the next month. Like the regular season's over, so now this is like a new season basically. So you have to kind of restart everything. Some of these guys also maybe haven't played in 2 weeks, depending on if you sat out last week. If you didn't need to, the Rams needed to win, so they played most of their guys. But look what the Rams did last week. I mean, they put up points. I think they might, if they get grooving, they might want to get out there and take some business out. So maybe that's what it is. All right, let's move and groove. Anything else on this one? Nothing. All good.
All good.
All right. Panel moment. We all agree BTA. You guys know what that means. Take it to whatever it is.
Congrats, Jay Dizzle.
Hey, this is Trizzy's staff pick, minus 10.5 on the Rams. So we know how Trizzy's been doing this year. Great. If you didn't know, he's been doing fantastic. I don't want to leave that up in the air.
All right now.
Yeah.
It's so funny to watch V have to scramble because he's so nervous.
Dude, I don't want to talk about this game.
He's not even going to text me during the whole thing either.
Oh my God,
He never talks to me during the games.
All
Danny.
we're gonna get throughout in our group chat is just eyeballs from Danny.
Oh
Just the eyeball emoji.
Just I will be so far from my phone.
Sure.
No, that's not true. You're going to be tweeting, dude.
Yeah, I'm going to be tracking the game to make sure that the Amazon Prime shit is not delayed.
I'm turning Vsauce and Danny's noties on prior to this game because I want to be involved in everything that's going on.
I want to see the slander. Man, these are the moments where I can't wait till we're all in the studio together because this would be cinema. Bears, Packers.
Yeah, can you imagine?
Sure. I've seen it live. You watch Packers games. I would love to watch it again.
I told Danny this yesterday when I was in chat with Kate's Prop Shop and him and Kate were live. Next year's meetup needs to be planned around a Packers-Bears matchup. We don't have to go to the game, but it has to be planned around a Packers-Bears matchup where we can just get me, Kate, and Danny all in the same room. And Kobe,
don't forget Kobe.
Jersey that apparently he's had for a long time. Shaggy Doy.
Yeah, Kobe. I'm not convinced Colby's a Bears fan, man. The amount of times I see him talking crap on the city of Chicago as a whole. I mean, he just throws the jersey on now. He hasn't mentioned the Bears once prior to this season, so
Thank you, Shaggy.
Might be a bit of a fair weather guy. That
he was waiting for a while. I feel like it was after the. I forget what game it was. Maybe like when the
Packers win,
beat the Giants. Maybe the Packers win. Yeah, it was something like that where he finally just succumbed to it. Yeah. I think he's trying to prevent himself from getting fully invested and inevitably hurt.
Me and Shags spending Saturday slandering both our co-hosts. I love this.
Don't forget Chef too. Chef's been the ultimate troll to you all week long, Sauce Man.
Him coming on and singing the song after we lost. My God, that was.
Oh, dude. All right. We're going to talk about the game, obviously. But I just will say that Danny gets the benefit of not having to do Gridiron Gang tomorrow.
I was just going to say, is V going to show up if it comes worse to worse?
I quit.
I've already got the letter in the email, man. So I know what's going to.
It says open if Packers lose. That's what it says. Subject line.
Open if Packers lose. Exactly. What's up, Ghost? How we doing? Hey, Chad. All right. Let's talk about the game.
Let's get it.
1.5 point dogs are the Chicago Bears as we sit right now. So, I mean, value on either side. You can take a money line if you prefer. There is some points out there either direction. The Packers, tiny bit of a fave here. This line has kind of danced around a little bit since open, kind of moved around, kind of settled at this 1.5 point towards the Bears being dogs here at home. 44.5 point total is also stuck around since Friday when this graphic was updated. Do you guys think? I don't even know where to start here. The weather is going to probably play a factor. It's going to be very cold. Danny, since you are in the Chicago area, is it as cold/snowy as it was discussed earlier this week? What is the weather forecast from meteorologist Danny Burke before we jump into the
bear weather?
Potatoes?
Can you confirm that it's bear weather?
I accidentally pressed my stupid thing on my laptop right now. But if you could still hear me, because I lost audio to you guys. I walked outside when I was walking Mona. It was rainy. It wasn't too cold yet, but throughout this week, it's been so nuts because it literally reached 55 degrees. It felt like spring. And yeah, it's supposed to be double-digit wins, potential snow. Hasn't been very cold quite yet, but it should be trending that way to lower 30s. But that was the assumption going into this game, is that the weather was going to be an impact, and partly a reason as to why I made the play I did, which we'll delve into momentarily. But it should get into that, which is going to make it even better. And, we love to say bear weather, but how much can you say bear weather when it's a team like Green Bay that plays in just the same exact environments, basically? But Bears fans and the team does use it to their advantage and likes to use it as a mantra. So hopefully it does work for our case. But yeah, it will slowly be getting there. It's been raining this morning, so the precipitation will continue.
Let's just hope the heaters are working on both sidelines this week.
That's all you can hope for. Shags, what's your thoughts on this game? I know that you have a take that you'd like to discuss. So what do you think about this game?
Tell me, Shaggy.
Yeah, I like the under. I like the under in this game. I took it. I have not bet it. Actually, I do have it in a contest, though. So we're riding with the 44.5. I've been riding NFL divisional unders all year long. Obviously, not exactly a divisional game. It is a divisional game. It's just in the postseason. But I just think it's going to get gritty and grungy and nasty. And I really think the Bears are going to try and control things on the ground. They have DeAndre Swift. They have Kyle Monangai. If you dominate on the ground and keep that Packers defense on the field, guess who's not on the field? The Packers offense scoring points. So I see the Bears trying to sustain very long drives, establishing that run game and just chewing clock all the way there. So I like the under. I don't know if I only see 21 points winning this game, to be quite honest with you, like a 21-17 game either way. But yeah, I do like the under. Don't ask me about a side.
I will go with.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I see. As Shaggy had his side yesterday.
You're right. You're right.
Shy away from it.
Look. I was in my closet. Actually, I was in my wife's closet. Actually, looking for some gear. I found this.
Oh no!
I might have to support the cheeseheads today. I'm a big cheese guy. All right, I love queso. I love Gouda, Munster, cheddar. Doesn't matter. Pepper jack might be the favorite. Big cheese guy, big queso guy. I'll probably be a cheesehead today.
No offense to your wife, but why does she keep a moldy, gross shirt in her closet?
She went to Green Bay on a girls' trip, and they were bar hopping, so she went thrifting and found some Packers gear. It's funny though, because I remember this. This was last year. It was when Detroit went to Green Bay, and I told her, I said, bet on Detroit. You're gonna wear your and it hit. Detroit won the game. But she was walking around in the Packers gear telling everybody, oh yeah, my husband bet on Detroit. My husband bet on Detroit.
It's also
so that's
kind of
why that's
fire,
in my closet. So
kind of a dope sweatshirt.
I love your wife's
it's cool. It's pretty cool, you know. I'm pretty sure she's worn it like that one time, and that was it. And then it's just
they use it as a rag now when they have to clean up whatever crap.
You know, I could actually.
Wisconsin's finest cheese to your door, sir. If we win today, all right?
Give me all the cheese curds, man. All the cheese curds. I'm a cheese over deep dish guy. I'll just say that.
Oh baby,
there's cheese in deep dish, so it works out for both
perfectly.
It works out.
The prop I have in this game, which you talked about, which kind of leans into this, and then I'll let these gents talk about. Danny and V wrote a really good article about this game, which is very tempered in comparison, even though they are both fans of these franchises. So go check it out at bettingnews.com for free, as always. My play is DeAndre Swift, over 58.5 rushing yards. I really like this prop. This might be one of my favorites. Danny, we've talked about this team throughout the last 6 weeks of how good they have been running the football. Now, Swift hasn't hit this line in 3 straight games, but this is a completely different situation. He's hit this line in 2 of his last 3 games against the Packers, almost got over it in their game against Green Bay earlier this season with 58 rushing yards. As Shags just said, I think that Ben Johnson's going to want to get out there from the jump and control the tempo in the trenches, and control the tempo on the line of scrimmage, and control the tempo at home throughout the whole purpose of this game. And how you do that is with DeAndre Swift and with Kyle Monangai. So I went with Swift, 58.5 rushing yards. Really like this line. A lot of my props are running backs today and tomorrow, because I think that just a lot of these teams are going to get out there and want to control the pace and control the tempo on the ground. And I think that the Bears should be able to do that. I have no idea who wins this game. I was trying to figure out if I wanted to roll with Danny, if I wanted to roll with V, if I wanted to roll with nobody, and I ended up taking nobody. I hope you guys have fun, and I hope you enjoy the game. I have no idea who wins. I really don't. right?
Yeah,
Thanks, man.
I took Swift too, but for malicious reasons.
Evil.
I'm 0 for 3 betting Swift props this year, so I'm hoping to go 0 for 4. I'm hoping. So
No, you got this, brother.
But I hope I don't jinx you, SPJ. I think he's gonna have a good game. I think I agree with everything. The run defense hasn't been there. Not only that, but haven't been getting penetration on the other side of the line. And the Bears' offensive line this year has been, I think, maybe they're the best aspect of their offense. As good as everybody else has looked, as good as Caleb Williams has looked. That offensive line, it finished the year graded as a top 3 unit according to PFF. They went from a team that allowed 38 sacks, I think it was last year, to a team that is top 5 in pressure rate allowed. And I think it's given their run game new life. I think it's given Caleb Williams way more time in the pocket and allowed him to, see his receivers and get through his progressions. I think it's going to be tough for the Packers to get there, and they haven't done it. Rashawn Gary, I don't think, has a tackle in like 10 weeks, and it was funny at first, but it's not funny anymore, man. It really is not funny anymore. It's not. But yeah, I think I'm on the other side, taking 75.5 for the other running back, Josh Jacobs. He says it's the best he's ever felt. He hasn't played in 2 weeks. He's been dealing with an injury since the Giants game. He had 3 injuries, a contusion, a knee injury, and an ankle injury, a sprained ankle, all on the same leg. Now he's had some time off. Even in the last 2 games he's played, he's been on a very, very limited snap count, playing just 16 total snaps in that game against the Ravens. I think he's feeling better. I think he's had some good games against the Bears. I do think that this is his second playoff game ever of his entire career. He is a vet on this team, but this is his second game. More guys on this team have played more playoff games than Josh Jacobs has. I think this is a game where he has to control the game. He has to control the tempo. And after what we saw with last week with Emmanuel Wilson, Josh Jacobs has to be your workhorse. He has to get a bulk of the carries. And I think the line at 75.5 is kind of, tipping its cap that way, that he's coming back after all of these weeks, after down weeks. And now the line's sitting this high. Why is it? I think the Packers are going to run more than expected today. And Josh Jacobs is going to be like at the head of that snake.
I mean, look, I agree with both of you guys. Your assessment on the running backs, that is going to be the main focal point for both teams, especially for the Bears, who have relied on this duo of DeAndre Swift and Kyle Monangai. And I really like your play with Swift. SPJ, I would probably lean toward that a little bit more, not because of any bias, but just because there's a bit more value in that rushing yards line being lower, I believe, as opposed to Jacobs, which realistically Jacobs still should be able to get over it. But I just think there's slightly a better edge there with the way that Swift has been running as of late. I've said this multiple times this week, and I'll say it again, obviously, now that it's game day, but maybe it's me being a pessimistic Chicago sports fan. But if I were not involved in this game emotionally, I would think like from someone from Shag's perspective or SBJ's perspective. And I know Shag's already feels this way, but I would look at this going that the Packers are the side to take, unfortunately, as disgusting as that is for me to say that. And I guess people may be a bit more hesitant just because you've seen the last 2 games and how closely they've played. And the first game should probably be more of an indictment of what this matchup should be. And that goes without being said, considering Jordan Love played the full game. Well, Malik Willis was more than serviceable in that second effort, but even outside of that, you had the flukiness of the onside kick and then Malik Willis fumbling and Josh Jacobs fumbling in the red zone. So I don't take as much away from that game as I would from the first one. So then the big caveat is, all right, well, are you going to get a Bears team that finally comes alive in the first half, or are they going to wait to the latter half of this game like they have in so many instances? And if they do that, then they're absolutely screwed. You cannot get away with that in a rubber match with the division rival. You can't do that in the postseason and against a team that has playoff experience and against one of the best coaches in the NFL in Matt LaFleur. So they have to get going right away. You cannot dig yourselves a hole. And if they do, and if it's somehow close, heck, I would suggest live betting the Packers. And Micah Parsons being out is a big factor. I get it. The defense has looked worse for Green Bay, so they are vulnerable. It's just a matter of if the Bears can attack right out of the gates. And that kind of works around my play that I did make at the beginning of this week. And that's the first half total under 23.5 minus 115. Even at 22.5, which I saw available recently, I would still look at that. Obviously getting over 23 is a very key spot in the first half. But you look at the Chicago defense, and yes, they're giving up 6 yards per play, but they're a bend don't break type of group. And they've shown to do that against the Packers. In that last game, Green Bay went 0 for 5 in the red zone. Detroit went 1 for 4 in the red zone last Sunday. There's no doubt Jordan Love and Josh Jacobs and company are going to move the ball. It's just a matter of if the Bears can stand strong in the first half, which they've done a good job of doing so. Their red zone percentage defensively has dipped to 42.8% over their last 3 games. And in general, the entire year, they're middle of the pack at 56%. So not too shabby. The first game they played 14-3 heading into the second half. The second game, it was 6-0. Chicago notoriously, as I'm alluding to, this terrible first half offense, averaging just 11 first half points per game. Over the last 3 contests, that's dipped to 7. In the second half, over their last 3 games, they've been scoring 16 points in the second half. All year, it's been 14. But both teams are going to establish the run. Both teams are going to have a lot of nerves, a lot of adrenaline. You don't want to be the team to make that first big mistake. So I think it's going to be a calmer, kind of just try to grind it out, control time of possession type of scoring and atmosphere in this first half. And that's why I like the under as well, Shags. But I just thought it was a little bit better pursuit for the first half. So that's the play that I like with the total. And then the other one I played here, and I don't think we talked about this one, V, but I did Rome Odunze over 32.5 receiving yards, minus $1.18. He's coming back, and as SPJ alluded to in our other show, he could have played in the last game, but they were certainly preserving him for this postseason spot. He was their leading receiver, averaging 55 receiving yards per game. And I think the Packers not seeing him in the first 2 games actually helps him tremendously. Now, they saw him last year, but it's a completely different offense under Ben Johnson. So you got to get a Dunze involved as well. And I think 32.5 is just an incredibly low line. That's the other play I made. One that I considered was Romeo Doubs over 2.5 receptions. Just threw a little bit on the side, but nothing that I'm giving out officially. But otherwise, it's first half under, Rome over receiving yards, and hoping that I just don't hate myself by the end of these 4 quarters or potentially overtime.
Yeah, I can say one thing. My mustache is going to be curled by the end of this one.
This is like the third person in chat to ask if we can do a live stream of you watching this game. And
I'm going to sit there for 3 hours watching me do this. That's all I do. Like, I don't sit there and maybe I'll scream or something a little bit, but like,
can we make a friendly wager here? If the Packers / the Bears make the Super Bowl, one of you lads, we will do a live stream of the live watch of the Super Bowl.
We'll have to figure something out. Yeah.
Big commitment.
Maybe a little TikTok live action. You know what I mean? Little TikTok live.
There will be financial compensation for your troubles, obviously. But, chat would love it.
We'll make it worth your time.
We'll make it worth your time.
That sounds like fun. That also sounds horrendous, but the content would be 10 out of 10. A couple of props. I did bet in this game before we move on. I opened Betalytics this morning. They had Matthew Golden over 1.5 receptions as the 4-star play. So I bet that at plus money. I know. Sorry. I did 1.5 receptions. I did it. I bet it. Whatever. This is a Bears team that runs a lot of man. We have no Dontavian Wicks playing today, no Bill Melton playing today. So they're going to need a little bit more from some of these other guys. And the metrics are there. He just hasn't been getting the ball. So I'm taking the over 1.5 receptions. And I did take Dobbs to score a touchdown at plus 220. I like his chances in the red zone. I think he's going to be a threat once they get down there. And like you said, we didn't see Love play in that second half of the game or even after the second quarter, really. Dobbs did score in that last game, and he's had some big playoff games. In that game against Dallas that they did end up winning, he had 151 yards and a touchdown. I think he's going to have a big part in today's game too if they want to, get the win.
Sorry for laughing, V. I just couldn't believe that you're going back to the well with Matthew Golden, a receiver who has less receiving touchdowns than the opposing quarterback he's facing today.
Oh, yeah.
I do like your Romeo Doubs play, though. Like I said, I like him over the receptions. He's usually a touchdown threat. Yes, and I have the same thought. I just can't believe it.
This is a long-term conversation in terms of Matthew Golden, and like if you've been watching, it's a volume issue. It's not an issue of anything else or an issue of drops. The guy's not getting the volume. This year of all years, the wide receiver room is pretty stacked, and guys have been playing well. But yeah, I think he's gonna have an impact on today's game.
That would be uncanny for a receiver who hasn't done anything to then just dominate the Bears in the most crucial game of the year. I will say that.
Uncanny, or would it be on brand?
Yeah, that's more like it.
Right? But 2 receptions feels like very doable. I don't need him to dominate. Just 2 receptions for a little plus money. cash to at least give me a little bit of happiness during this game, hopefully.
No, yeah, I think you'll be good. You'll hit your Swift prop. Don't worry about it. I think Swift will bring you home, baby.
I hope to God that's the one that misses, God.
Chad, all I can say, like Shag said, turn both of these guys' noties on today, and I can't wait to see our text thread later tonight.
The funny thing about our tweets, it's not even going to be about us showboating until maybe tomorrow morning. It's going to be about bitching. Us just hating ourselves and hating our teams, and the world is ending and all of that. But
60 minutes of pitching.
Once this year, and I sent a text message about Malik Willis beating the Bears, and then next, what happened in that fourth quarter. So yeah, like I'm being so dead ass. That's exactly how it went down.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
I have your noties on. Okay. All right, there's the 2 football games today. It's going to be a great day of watching sports, though, lads. We've got 2 games today, 3 games tomorrow on Monday Night Football. Obviously, the last 2 days watching college football playoffs as well. So sit back, relax, crack a beverage, and enjoy the day. But we've got hoops today as well. So let's close out the show turning the page and talking some college basketball and some NBA. Shaq, I'll let you kick us off first. Chat, I'm going to this game. Vanderbilt Commodores taking on the LSU Tigers. I'll be heading out here and going to Memorial Gym here in Nashville to watch, hopefully, Vanderbilt stay undefeated on the season. If they lose this game today, my friend will never invite me to a game ever again. But Shags, what's the moves in the college basketball realm? Starting off with what's going to go down to Memorial Gym.
Yep. LSU Vandy, we are not overthinking it. We're just going to take the over. 162. Vandy has only had 2 games at home this year stay under 70 possessions. They've been at, or stay under 73 possessions, rather. They're top 40 team in terms of pace. They're very, very dominant. They've been running up and down the floor. They've got no problem scoring and daring other teams to keep up with them. We saw that against Alabama, where they won 96-90, I believe. Outscoring Alabama, that's tough to do. But that shows that this Commodores team is able to run and put the ball in the hoop efficiently. Whereas on the LSU side, you've got a team that's offense is much better than their defense, and they're not afraid to attack the rim. They also play plenty fast, but they're top 35 in getting to the free throw line, whereas Vandy bottom 35 in free throw rate defense. So I think we could see a lot of extra free throws for the LSU Tigers, but either way, we should see plenty of offense. So over 162 in LSU Vandy.
Have fun, Jay Dizzle. Hope your team does stuff. Yeah, I'm betting
it's funny, Rusty, this is funny because I actually have more overs than I do unders in this game, but you can get a better number on the under than I did in a different game.
Shags, I'm betting this. You ain't got to twist my arm to bet an over at a game that I'm at.
Absolutely.
Give me offense. Give me points. This might go, well, this might find our way it's to our parlay. We'll see. I don't know if we want to start the day off.
That's an early one because that's noon Central, right?
Yeah.
That's cool.
It is.
Betting on kids to hit their free throws on a Saturday morning. I mean, that whole concept to me sounds like so much fun.
So much fun. I'm going to be watching live, UV. I can't wait to bitch at some of these guys on the side and be like, hey, bruh.
You just take off your shoe and you fling it at them. You know what I mean? Unks, here, get the fucking scoring. All right, get to it.
Belt out, man. I got belt out. Like, come on now.
Michael Irvin. Because we're here, I said Michael Irvin. The tweet about Cam Ward not being able to go out with Michael Irvin actually sent me because they're all at the game, and it's like, Cam Ward, whatever you do not go out with Irvin tonight.
You sent me that, and
jokes.
Someone definitely sent me. All right, Shags, keep going. What else you got today on this massive 100 million college basketball game slate?
Yeah, I am wearing the hatch, so I should give you guys an under. Syracuse and Pittsburgh under 140.5 at -105. It's up to 143. So you can get an extra 3 points of CLV that I did not get. But Pittsburgh is at home. They're just painfully slow. Bottom 9th, I believe, in pace. The Qs have a much better defense than they do offense. They're also a team that really likes to run slow. Neither team shoots threes. Neither team can make threes when they do shoot them. I just think we see very slow, meticulous offense. We're not going to get teams rushing up and down the floor. We're going to get 30 seconds of offense pretty much every time, every possession. So give me the under here. You can get a better number than I did, but just 2 very, very slow teams, better defenses than offenses. So sticking with the under. Up to 143. Boom. There you have it. I had to give you one because of the hat. So
we are out of stock of these hats too, chat. No more stock of these.
Are we?
No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
It's just what I keep telling people so they stop buying them.
Although Rusty, you did say that you'd buy one, so I expect to see that in the
Absolutely.
Yeah, Rusty, you can't talk as much shit about overs as you do in chat and not have one of these beanies, okay? You better have one.
Thorpe sent me a picture last night of him watching the game, and he was like, I have the under in this game, and I'm wearing my hat.
I saw Thorpe predict all the games, and even he picked the Bears, and I was like, why does everybody hate me, man? Why? Why? Just kidding. I love you, Jax.
Shit happens. All right, Jax, keep it going. You got some more unders, or are we going back into Overland?
No, I'm actually going to give you a side. This is actually probably my favorite play of the day, and I will probably be fading everyone on gambling Twitter. I might be the only person taking the Arkansas Razorbacks today because I'm fading everybody's favorite system. We have an unranked home favorite playing a ranked opponent, hosting a ranked opponent. But Arkansas, they are just that team. They are those dudes. They are much better than Auburn. Auburn is coming off a heartbreaking loss. They made a buzzer beater at home to beat Texas A&M. Guess what? They reviewed it. It was late. Didn't get it off. Took that win away from this Auburn team. Are they going to use that as some extra motivation in this contest? Absolutely they could. But I don't think it matters. I think Arkansas really is that team. Darius Acuff Jr. is one of the best freshmen in the country, playing like it as well, leads this Arkansas team. They're a top 10 offense. They take care of the ball. They get to the free throw line. They keep their opponents off of it. And this team's shooting over 39% from beyond the arc. Auburn's a team that likes to get up and down too, not as fast as Arkansas. So Arkansas is going to speed things up, give them the little extra possessions, but I like the Razorbacks defense in this game. I think Auburn does have the offensive tools to keep up if it does get into a shootout, but time and time again, I'm going to see the Razorbacks stopping Auburn, getting those defensive stops and turning it into layups on the other end. So I'm not going to overthink this one. I'm just taking Arkansas plus 100 on the money line. Again, probably fading everyone on Twitter because I expect to see a lot of Auburn Tiger tickets today.
I'm with it.
Sign me up. Fading everybody on Twitter. Let's go.
Absolutely. Not on purpose. Right. It's just, it's how I see it.
Also, you get to, crank hog. So
of course.
I'm almost down to crank hog.
Saturdays for cranking hog, baby.
No doubt about it. Staying on
anything else?
Today.
You guys can go read Shag's article at Betting News about all the rest of his favorites on the college basketball realm. Anything else you want to give to the kids before we talk NBA?
No, go check out the scribbles. I got a lot more. I will say, getting started in a half hour, Thomas Houck of Florida going over his 18.5 points, minus 122. Leads the Gators in scoring, leads them in minutes as well. He's on the court over 33 minutes every single game. Averages 17.5 points, so we need a little bit over average, but the guy shows up when it matters against some of the best teams. This guy scored 27 against Arizona, 24 against Duke and Mizzou, 21 against Georgia, only had 18 against UConn, but against teams with a pulse, this guy shows up. He's got double-digit shot attempts in 11 of 15 games this year. We're betting on volume. He's the go-to scorer for the Gators, and I see him having another 20 ball today. So that one's starting here in 30 minutes. Thomas Houck of Florida over 18.5 points. Keep the scribbles for the rest. They're all out there.
Get after it, chat. Go to bettingnews.com for free for all the vibes across everything today. If you want to fade this guy or if you want to fade that guy, you can go check out their article. Feel free to do so. All right, let's talk NBA, and then we'll get out of here and cook the parlay of the day. I've got 2 plays in the NBA. I don't know if either one of you lads, are you just all totally focused on your football teams today?
I got 2.
I got some NBA. Yep.
Let's go.
I need someone to distract me.
Yeah, fair enough. It's a nice slate today. Good games across. There's an early one that starts here at noon tip-off as the Timberwolves take on the Cavs. But Danny, I'll let you go first. What do you like in the NBA today?
Yeah, I'm putting out an article, so I might add a couple more later. But just early in the AM, a couple that I played, I took the under between the Bulls and the Mavericks under 233.5. Both of these teams play at a top 10 pace, but as we all know, neither team is efficient offensively. Dallas, 28th in offensive points per 100 possessions. Chicago is 22nd. And the Mavericks boast a really solid defense. All around, they're really good on that side of the ball. They're 3rd in opponent effective field goal percentage, 10th in points per 100 possessions allowed. Now, the Bulls defensively have certainly regressed heading into this season and as the season has progressed. But around the rim, they've done a little bit better. Dallas takes the 5th most shot attempts from mid-range and at the rim. rim. And the Bulls rank second in shot rate and field goal percentage allowed from mid-range, and then 14th in opponent field goal percentage at the rim. So they match up fairly well in terms of where Dallas loves to shoot from. And then a big discrepancy in where they counter each other well is with the free throw line. Certainly overs benefit from getting points when the time is not running. And Chicago is 24th in offensive free throw rate. Dallas sits 8th defensively. Then the Mavericks are 19th in offensive free throw rate. The Bulls are 5th defensively. I just don't see why this total is in the 230s right now. I know it's actually gotten a little bit of love to the over, but I'm just going to bank on both of these teams stinking it up, having no consistent scoring, and staying under 233.5. The other play that I have, another under here for just a rusty old man. I know he comes for the under. So here's another one for you. Jared Allen under 12.5 points, minus 104. The T-Wolves treated me well the other night coming through with a dub. We'll see if they can get another one here in Cleveland. These guys playing each other just back-to-back, not directly back-to-back, but in their next games. So it's an immediate rematch. And in that last game, Jared Allen dropped 11 points, went 5 of 9 from the floor, also got 10 boards. He's also averaging about 14 points per game. So you would think, hey, perhaps at home in a spot where they may bounce back could be a good spot for Allen, but I don't think it's really going to be a better performance from him per se, because this Minnesota defense has been outstanding. They're 4th in points per 100 possessions allowed, 4th in defensive effective field goal percentage. And as a big man, obviously a majority of his shots, over 60%, are coming at the rim, and Minnesota ranks 5th in opponent field goal percentage allowed at the rim. And then mid-range, they defend very well too. That's where secondary shot attempts are coming from as well. So he's not a premier scorer. We know that. He's not a go-to guy. And with a day in between a rest, even though they just saw each other, I still think it's going to be a relatively lower scoring performance from him. And if you look at PSA for Jared Allen points per shot attempt, it's actually the lowest mark of his career. And I just don't see him outperforming what we saw the other night and doing any better than he would in other games against one of the league's best defenses, especially in spots where he sits from and lives from. So give me the under on Jared Allen points tonight.
The Fro will be doing nothing today. This game also starts, like I said, this is an early tip-off, noon Central, 1 Eastern, as the Timberwolves take on the Cleveland Cavaliers. As DB said, I'll have an article out later if you want to go tap in with some more unders. Are you going to eye any overs today? Or are you just going to...
At most, I'm sure there will be one over, but realistically, all unders.
Hey, man, it's nice to have you diversify the portfolio on the platform. A lot of the people are appreciating it, and you've been smoking on the unders, too. I know you're up quite a nice amount of units in the articles and also what you've been doing on the NBA, so good stuff there, bro. V, go ahead, and then I'll take us home, and then we'll cook, and we'll get out of here.
Absolutely. Starting it off in that Hornets-Jazz game, right, because that's the one everyone's looking forward to today. Taking Bryce Sensabaugh over 19.5 points and rebounds. Now, the reason I'm taking this one is the Jazz are sitting a whole bunch of players today. Laurie's out. Nurkic is probably going to be back in the lineup. I'm assuming he was out for rest, but no Ace Bailey, no Walker Kessler, obviously, no Jordan Niang. This is a team that is full of young guys and is still tanking. So they're not looking to put their best foot forward on any night, and games like this against other, bottom 10 teams are going to mean a lot in terms of in the loss column. Sensabaugh has been playing 30-plus minutes in back-to-back games. He's not the best, but he is going to be, I think, a key piece in this Jazz team going forward in terms of depth. He's hit this line also in 7 of his last 10 games without Laurie in the lineup, and it's just a minutes issue. When he's seeing the minutes, he's getting the usage, and he loves almost every shot in the gym. He's a good rebounder. He's got 5 and 5 rebounds in back-to-back games. And I think tonight against a Hornets team that is bottom 5 in effective field goal percentage allowed, that is bottom 5 in most defensive categories, I think that it's going to be a fun game. I think the Hornets' pace of play really limits scoring opportunities for other teams, but the Jazz being a top 5 team in pace is going to really speed them up tonight, and I think lead to more scoring opportunities for both sides. I think somebody on the other side like Brandon Miller maybe is in a good spot, or if you want to look at Con Knipple again, I just thought the 19.5 line was a little bit too low for Bryce. And then my other play, this one I tweeted out last night, Luke Cornett over 13.5 points and rebounds. He's back in Boston. The vibes are high. He's a champion. Unfortunately, we couldn't afford to keep him after this year, but this is also a line that he's cleared at a very high rate this year, even when he's coming off the bench for Wemby. Honestly, probably more so when he's coming off the bench. When Wemby doesn't play, the Spurs have a tendency to kind of change their game plan a little bit and even go smaller. And sometimes that removes Cornett from seeing regular minutes, or even I know we think maybe it's an increase, It doesn't really happen. But with Wemby out there, the game plan shifts just a little bit, whereas Cornette's playing more minutes off the bench and he's seeing more usage. I think the vibes are incredibly high here in Boston. The Celtics on the second night of a back-to-back after a big win last night. They've still been kind of tough on the offensive glass. And I think Cornette's going to make his old team kind of pay for that one. So I took the over 13.5 points and rebounds. And I might have one or two more later as the day goes on. I still got to dive into these games, but that's all I've got today.
Nice. I have 2 overs as well, shockingly. However, 2 names that you've never heard me utter, chat, so you're not going to hear the same old stuff from me today. I like both of my plays quite a bit. Probably going to only have 2 today, but I might get a little frisky later. We'll see how many beers I drink at the Vanderbilt game. But the first one, I'm going to say my favorite for last. Pascal Siakam, over 24.5 points, minus 120 as the not really a game that you're going to be tapped into, as the Pacers are one of the worst teams in the NBA this season, taking on the Miami Heat. However, this is how Pascal Siakam has done against the Miami Heat and also what he's been doing recently. Siakam has been taking an incredible amount of shots for this Pacers offense. He is shooting the ball also very efficiently as well. 21 shots in back-to-back games as well against the Miami Heat. He's had 33 and 36 points in those games as well. If you want to go to PRA, you can, because he is also a very good rebounder on this team, and they need his rebounding when he's out there. But this is just purely about the volume. His shot volume has been insane over the last 5 games. 23, 23, 21, 18, and 20 shots in 5 straight. I think we see something similar again against the Miami Heat in Indiana today. I also don't hate the Pacers in the points, but the Pacers are terrible, so I'm not going to do that. Just give me Spicy P to have another big game tonight. I think it can maybe flirt with another 30 piece once again. Second favorite, and this actually might be my actual favorite. Don't love this guy for various reasons. However, I can just not ignore how much Miles Bridges loves beating up on the Utah Jazz. Miles Bridges over 29.5 PRA. I also did a little sprinkle on his 25-plus points at plus 350 and also a sprinkle on his double-double at plus 400. Miles Bridges has hit this PRA line in 7 straight matchups with the Utah Jazz. 7 straight. He already had 29 points against them earlier this season. He also has 25 points in 4 straight matchups with the Utah Jazz. I know that Brandon Miller and Con Knipple, like you was saying, have gotten a lot of the love, especially LaMelo Ball recently as well. But don't forget, Bridges is also a very good rebounder. He also has double-doubles in 4 of his last 5 games against the Utah Jazz. High total, defense optional for this Jazz team most of the season. I think that Bridges is going to come out once again and take advantage of this Jazz defense. So give me Miles Bridges over 29.5 PRA, and I did sprinkle in the 25 and the double-double as well. Don't bet very often, but when you give me that type of hit rate against the team most consistently, I'm going to be all over it. So give me Bridges and give me Spicy Pete.
I like Nurk in that game too. I was looking at him, but with the news not out yet, I'm gonna have to wait. Kalkbrenner's also back for the Hornets, so I don't know if that's gonna be a fun look for anybody. Just because the Jazz have been soft in the middle, centers against the Jazz. But yeah,
real quick too. Yeah, it's a nice slate today. Real quick, too, before we cook. This first game, as Danny was talking about with this Cavs-Timberwolves game, Anthony Edwards is still questionable in this one. It's looking like that he's going to play. But if you want to get invested in some Dante DiVincenzo stock right now, if Anthony Edwards does sit, I feel like that line might move, and he's coming off a really good game shooting from deep, and the Cavs don't defend a three-point line very well either. So there's some early stuff there for the early NBA today as well.
Fresh off 10K, too.
Yep, big facts. All right, let's cook. Let's get out, cook, and then we'll get out of here. Shags, you said your favorite. Do you want to do Arkansas in here?
I like the Hogs. If you guys want to crank hog with me, let's do it.
What would you say is your? Would you say that's the one you were gonna give us, or like, yeah?
I don't like picking out like a most popular play or my favorite.
My favorite. It's like
when I have like one unit on everything. You know what I mean? So, but yeah, I feel real strongly about Arkansas.
Yeah, and then mine and Danny's favorite play, Packers money line.
Sweet. Sounds good.
Combo play. Collab.
You're muted, Danny. You're muted, Danny. Let him know.
I'm in.
No, I'm kidding. But yeah.
Could you hear the desperation when B was saying that combo play? Like,
could you hear the desperation of my voice this entire show? Because it's been there.
It's very much so there. Shags, what time is that Arkansas game?
5 Central, I believe.
Thank you. Sifting through 120 million games is hard.
Freaking hog.
Whoop,
what do we want to take in the? Do you guys want to roll with Kyron Williams in the Rams-Panthers game?
I like.
Or do we want to? Yeah,
let's do it.
We got to do something in football today.
You guys had 2 heads on it, anyways. So,
do we want to do Rome?
Adunze?
Or EO
I'm not
Dobbs.
saying
I don't know
his
which one you're
full
inferring.
name.
Rome EO or Rome?
Rome. I meant Rome.
Adunze?
Yeah, what's his line at SPJ if you have that in front of you?
Real quick, first, Shags, can we take the points with Arkansas for the parlay? 2.5.
Is it up to 2.5 now? Yeah, take the 2.5.
Sketch.
Why is the Rome
That's
line
not
so
good.
low? Like it feels like.
Do you feel differently? No, hang on.
Me? No,
Yeah.
I mean, I already locked it in, so like I'm riding or
Okay.
dying with the ship.
You
But,
just would have preferred it to move the other way.
yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
for sure.
Well, I'm also sitting at even money on the money line. Or what? I probably could have gotten 115, 120, maybe.
Don't worry, Jack.
118.
CLV's a myth.
It doesn't matter. Who cares? Let me see. Oh shit, hang on. Let me just put up Kyron Williams, 68.5. Nice. And then
Mahomes.
you asked me the line on Rome, right?
Yes, sir.
Adunze. 32.5 still.
Why did that go down too?
I think it was 32.5 earlier this week when Dan
Yeah,
gave it.
that was the best number I got when it was out. So
That's good.
Okay. All right, 32.5 for Rome Adunze.
Should we double
And
down
then
on
in the-
Swift?
No, let's do something in the NBA. Just diversify. I don't want you guys to have to totally hate yourself.
I'm just trying to sell the parlay now. That's what I'm trying to do. So
Yeah,
I mean, I would,
Honestly,
honestly, I kind of like Swift better than Adunze, but if you guys want to go
Hey,
with Rome,
that's fine with me if you like that better, since you guys are both on it.
Shags,
I
what do you
know. I
think?
like. I'm only like again. I am literally on Swift. That's not a joke. I'm
yeah.
hoping he loses. I think Rome is a good play. I think the line is too low. I think Caleb should have time in the pocket. So, I mean,
Let's
Or
go.
we
Let's
take
go
the
with
under.
Rome. Let's go. Ooh, okay. I'd be on the under. I was gonna say we could take Rome because Caleb's gonna be throwing the ball down 14 all game, right?
Sure.
Sure.
we all like the under. Do we like it
Let's
at 44.5, or do we take the
I
first
don't
half
like
under?
that it's moved so much is the issue now.
know,
But in
right.
general, I still like it, but I'd rather
We can
take
buy it up.
Rome
We
or
can buy it
Swift.
up a few points. It's a parlay. We can take it to like 46 or 47.
If we took it to
46 maybe?
47, I wouldn't mind it.
You down? Are you down with that? Let's do the 47.5.
Are you able to throw the first half one in there? Is that still at like if
I
it's
can't.
23?
It's not across like all markets, unfortunately, and I want people to be able to ride with us.
Right.
I hate that they do that. It's so annoying.
I can't believe I'm witnessing us moving on from a player prop over to a full game under. I've
Yeah,
never seen this
that's
happen.
absurd.
Hey, we're growing.
Growth,
Tells you how this network has evolved, Danny. Let me tell you.
Danny. I
We
will
got
say
bet more
this:
unders
Shaggy,
hats. We
Shags
got
has been
unders
trying.
and parlays.
Yeah, Shaggy's
I
been
used to
pioneering it.
I used to say the word under, and these guys would look at me like I was a witch, man. They were like, where are the torches? Let's burn this guy at the stake. What is he talking about?
Danny's actually had a significant impact. I even tail his unders, like from the article plays and everything like that. So
I
yeah.
will say from all Shags from the beginning, is he ever told me he loved an under and it was his favorite, I would always ride.
Love it.
But
Jags
all
is
right.
the pioneer of it, baby.
that's why
I
he
had
has
a lot of
that's
help.
why he's the
I had a lot
beanie.
of help.
Okay, last play. Let's do something in the NBA. Of all the things we talked about,
Rusty.
what do we want to take? I actually
Luke
really
Cornett. No, I'm just kidding.
no. Respectfully, no. You guys want to roll with? I kind of like that under Danny in the Mavs Bulls game, but I don't want to do two unders in a parlay. Like that's where I draw the line.
Well, I was gonna suggest Jared Allen's under, so I'll just shut up.
Okay. Well, that game's at 12. That's why I didn't.
Oh, is that one at noon? Okay, yeah.
Yeah, it starts
man.
at noon.
Let's get something later. I mean, I'm in for two unders in a parlay, but
The only thing that concerns me a bit about that game is that it could turn into two clowns punching each other, on the fucking, and it turns like 250 points.
Mm-hmm.
Did you have a favorite that of any of the others that got mentioned, Shags, besides obviously gravitating towards the unders?
I didn't mind Spicy P.
Siakam.
Behind Pascal. Yeah.
Do you guys like Siakam being DB as NBA peeps?
Let me look at it. I can see Heat. I don't mind it. I just get scared betting overs against this Heat defense is my only.
I honestly, I know two unders may be asking for trouble, but the under in the Mavs Bulls game might be, might be a little bit fun.
Boom. V said it. Let's do it.
I know. Probably famous last words.
Let's buy it up a couple points because it's 232.5. Let me buy it to like 234.5 or something like that.
Yeah, I got 233.5 is the number I got, so that works with me.
Okay. Chat, we're evolving. 2 unders in a parlay.
SPJ is gonna be so pissed if that bet doesn't hit, and he's gonna.
Oh, not as pissed as he was yesterday with me and Sook on the show yesterday. Oh my God, we were literally dancing on his last nerve.
Welcome to my life every day, pretty much. I swear to God, if 2 unders in this parlay sell the parlay, though, I'm just kidding. I've had so many overs from sell parlays, it doesn't matter.
I was gonna say at this point we've only had over sell parlays because the unders don't get in there.
There's been unders in here recently. They don't sell though.
Logic, okay?
Yeah. Sorry.
All right, Arkansas plus 2.5. Kyron Williams over 68.5 rushing yards. It's weird looking at an over in this line now. Under 47.5 for the Packers Bears game. Under 235.5 Mavs Bulls plus 900. Pretty much.
Man,
that's your Betspresso 4. Bing bong. There it is.
Oh man.
Chat. Put your own parlays together. Have some fun today. Bet across the entire realm of sports. Yeah. No, it's not going to happen, Rusty. I told you. Everybody bets differently, man. Everyone can have fun how they want to. Doesn't matter. Maybe when I'm like 75, I will like unders, but probably not. We'll see. Go follow all these gents on the screen. We appreciate you guys tuning in for your Betspresso to kick off your Saturday morning of a wonderful day of sports.
It's maybe the last time we see V, maybe the last time you see me. So keep that in mind, folks.
Just remember, open if
might
Packers
be the last time
lose.
you see these faces.
Open if Packers lose. Danny, you'll get an email that says open if Packers win. Don't open it unless they win. I'm just kidding.
It's going to be a great day. Wonderful day. All right, I got to get out of here to go to the Vanderbilt game. Enjoy the day, chat. Go follow these lads. Go follow us across all socials. Go get involved with all of our content at bettingnews.com. Boys, good luck today. Shags, good luck in general as a wonderful human being. You guys came to the winners and you stayed for the vibes.
I'll take all the luck I can get.
Absolutely, baby. Have a wonderful day watching sports, and we will catch you tomorrow on the next one. Take it easy, chat. Peace.
What you know about rolling down in the deep? Down in the deep. Now I know y'all be loving this shit right here. Rolling. What you gonna do? Rolling. What you gonna do? Down in the rolling. What you gonna do? Right, y'all be loving this shit. What you know about